and it was started in Chicago in 1977 by Al Booth, founder of the International Music Foundation, and is now managed by the foundation's executive director, Mark Riggleman. Today's concert is made possible by generous grants from the Paul M. Angel Family Foundation, the Ann and Gordon Getty Foundation, the National Endowment for the Arts, and the Illinois Arts Council. Today's broadcast is sponsored in part by the Admiral at the Lake Senior Living Community. You can join us right now for a live video of this performance, a live video stream on WFMT's Facebook and YouTube channels. Today's guest artists are William Welter and Winston Choi. William Welter was appointed principal oboe of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra by music director Riccardo Muti in June 2018. Prior to his appointment, Welter performed as a guest musician with the Cleveland Orchestra, Pittsburgh Symphony, New York Philharmonic, and as guest principal oboe of the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra. William Welter was a fellow at the Tanglewood Music Center and participated in several esteemed music festivals. A native of Omaha, Nebraska, and raised in Crescent, Iowa, William Welter is a 2016 graduate of the Curtis Institute of Music, where he studied with Richard Woodhams, the longtime principal oboe of the Philadelphia Orchestra. And pianist Winston Choi is from Canada. He's an inquisitive performer whose fresh approach to standard repertory and masterful understanding, performance, and commitment to work by living composers make him one of today's most dynamic concert artists. Known for his colorful approach to programming and insightful commentary from the stage, Choi has recently appeared in recital at the National Arts Centre of Canada, the Glenn Gould Studio in Toronto, New York's Carnegie Weill Recital Hall and Merkin Recital Hall, and the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. Choi also performs extensively in France. An accomplished chamber musician, he tours regularly with his wife, Ming-Huan Xu, as duo Diorama and with the Civitas Ensemble. Winston Choi's debut CD, The Complete Piano Works of Elliott Carter, was given 5 stars by BBC Music Magazine. He's also a member of Ensemble Dal Niente and is associate professor and head of piano at the Chicago College of Performing Arts at Roosevelt University. On the program today, music by Benjamin Godard, Vivian Fine, and Antonio Pasculli, an oboe virtuoso from the late 19th, early 20th century. First, Benjamin Godard, his Scènes Écossaises, Scottish scenes. Godard was a French violinist of the late 19th century who died of tuberculosis at the age of 45, but still managed to compose 8 operas, 5 symphonies, multiple concertos, and more. He remains a fixture in the oboe community for his Scènes Écossaises, Scottish scenes. The first movement is as peaceful and pastoral as its title would suggest, complete with a lilting beat throughout. And the second movement is a delightful and simple waltz. The finale is a march to reach an exciting conclusion. Our performers today are William Welter on oboe and Winston Choi on piano. Those were the Ecossaises and composer Benjamin Godard. The performers you just heard, William Welter on oboe, Winston Choi on piano, in this Dame Myra Hess Memorial Concert live from Chicago's Cultural Center. If you are watching on the WFMT Facebook stream, please let us know where you are watching from. Next on the program is music by a Chicago-born composer, Vivian Fine, born in 1913. She was a piano prodigy, the youngest student ever to be awarded a scholarship to the Chicago Musical College at just the age of 5. She'd go on to study with Madame Jeanne Lavoie Hertz and Ruth Crawford, and Vivian Fine made her compositional debut at the age of 16, moved to New York at age 18, and became a member of Aaron Copland's Young Composers Group. Fine was also one of the best-known performers of contemporary piano music in New York in the 1930s, premiering works by Charles Ives, Aaron Copland, Henry Cowell, and others. She won many awards, including the Guggenheim Fellowship and grants from the Rockefeller, Ford, Koussevitzky, and Elizabeth Sprague Coolidge Foundations. Premiered in 1942, Vivian Fine's Sonatina for oboe and piano was written for her friend Joseph Marx and won a prize from the Music Guild of Philadelphia. With a jubilant first movement, a lyrical second movement, and a final movement with Baroque-like themes, we're going to hear it now from the Cultural Center with William Welter on oboe, Winston Choi on piano. The music of Chicago-born composer was performed by William Welter, principal oboe of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and Winston Choi, head of piano at the Chicago College of Performing Arts at Roosevelt University. My name's Robbie Ellis, filling in for Dave Schwann this week on the Dame Myra Hess Memorial Concert live from Chicago's Cultural Center. And we're going to finish with the music of Antonio Pasculli, commonly referred to as the Paganini of oboists. Pasculli was one of the most notorious oboe virtuosos in music history, not being challenged enough with the repertoire of his time and before. Pasculli composed his own music, utilizing the beautiful melodies of operas past and present. His fantasy on the opera Poliuto by Donizetti uses the melodies of this tragic opera centered on the early Christian martyr Saint Poliuctus, who was condemned to death in prison. We hear these themes in their pure form and then significantly elaborated and expanded upon throughout into a virtuosic showpiece. And to demonstrate such virtuosity, here are William Welter on oboe, Winston Choi on piano. That was and you heard oboist William Welter many notes per minute with Winston Choi on piano in this Dame Myra Hess Memorial Concert live from Chicago's Cultural Center. Thank you to viewers on Facebook, locals like from Chicago and Skokie and Elgin, and from further afield, Indiana, Georgia, Orange County, California, Iowa, New Mexico, the suburbs of DC, and as well as that, Germany, India, and Canada. Thank you all for tuning in. Next week on the Dame Myra Hess Memorial Concerts, we've got the Colere Saxophone Quartet. They were gold medalists in the senior wind division of last year's Fischoff National Chamber Music Competition. They have a program of Johann Sebastian Bach, Guillermo Lago, and Russell Peck. We hope you've enjoyed today's Dame Myra Hess Memorial Concert, live from the Cultural Center on Michigan Avenue at Washington Street. And you can tune in next Wednesday at 12:15 when we're joined by the Colere Saxophone Quartet, or on the WFMT Facebook and YouTube channels. Musicians' accommodations are provided by the Union League Club of Chicago, and for further upcoming Dame Myra Hess artists and programs, go to the International Music Foundation's website at imfchicago.org. Also, thank you to the International Music Foundation's Executive Director, Mark Riggleman, and Program Manager, self-professed oboe nerd, Ashley Ertz. Today's broadcast was sponsored in part by the Admiral at the Lake Senior Living Community. Thank you to audio engineer Eric Arunas, video producer Greg Broderick, with social media support from Keegan Morris. Until next time, this is Robbie Ellis saying goodbye from the Chicago Cultural Center.